Ever see a gymnast perform what appears to be a perfect routine, but the score is anything but? Seems arbitrary, right? The judge must have a bias against that gymnast, right? Hi, I'm Scott Schaffer. I've been a gymnastics judge for 25 years and a gymnast before that. That's me at the 2021 Olympic Trials, judging Brody Malone, national champion and member of the 2021 U.S. Olympic team. This is the first in what may be a series of videos describing what a judge does when he or she is judging a routine, what they look for, and why the score comes out the way it does. The goal of this video is to help you understand that the score and gymnastics judging rules attempt to put an objective standard to what otherwise seems like a subjective artistic sport. We don't just arbitrarily come up with a score, but apply a complex set of rules in real time as each element is performed by the gymnast. Hopefully you'll find that by the end of this video, judging gymnastics will be a little bit less mysterious. Enjoy. But first, let's see a routine judged in real time. The first thing you'll notice is that I'm constantly writing as the routine is being performed. We don't know the routine in advance, and even if we did, we judge the performed skills, not what the gymnast intended to perform. These odd symbols you're seeing correspond to my shorthand notations of the gymnastics skills performed during the routine. With my notation, vertical lines signify the number of flips, angled lines in their direction show how many twists are performed, and a line at the bottom shows the body position of the skill. These letters above these symbols represent the difficulty of these skills, A being the easiest skill worth 0.1, and this E-rated skill worth 0.5 being the hardest skill performed in this particular routine. The very hardest skills in gymnastics currently are rated I and worth 0.8. I like to write the value of the skills as I'm judging, if I can, so that I can calculate the score faster, but many judges save this step until after the routine is finished. The small numbers between the symbols correspond to performance errors or deductions that I noticed during the routine. The larger the number, the more severe the error, with a small error being minus 0.1, a medium error minus 0.3, a large error minus 0.5, and a fall being a deduction of 1 whole point. These errors can be obvious ones such as steps or hops on the landing, or they can be non-obvious ones such as a strength position not being held for a minimum of 2 seconds. So what you see me doing here is checking my work to make sure I made no obvious mistakes in transcribing the skills or giving them the wrong value. I'm also counting the number of each type of skill to make sure that there are no repeated skills or too many of the same type. And as I'll explain later in this video, I'm also checking which element groups the gymnast will get credit for performing. I then add together the value of the skills, then the total element group credit, and finally the total number of deductions. I then do a bit of math and find the final score. Okay, we now have the routine fully notated. But how do we come up with a score? For the purpose of this video, I've rewritten the evaluation with some additional information. A judge first identifies the 10 best skills in the routine and adds up their value. So here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we have 10 skills to count. For their value, I typically count by 5s, equal to a B plus C value skill, a D plus A or bonus, and an E value skill. So here we have E is 5, D plus the bonus is another 5, that's 10. That E brings it up to 15, D plus that bonus brings it up to 20, C plus B means 25. At the end we have CCD for another 10, that's 35, and then the A for the split brings it up to 36, that's 3.6. The judge then determines how many different types of elements are performed. These types, or element groups, on floor include non-acrobatic skills, such as this press to a Japanese handstand here, frontward acrobatic skills, such as this double front flip here, backward acrobatic skills, such as this double twisting double back flip here, and a dismount of a high enough value, such as this triple twisting backflip, also known as a triple full, here. Each of these element groups is worth 0.5 points. So a gymnast has the possibility of receiving a total of 2.0 for performing all 4 element groups. The skill value score of 3.6 and the element group score of 2.0 are added together to yield a D, or difficulty score, of 5.6, as shown here. This is the very top score that a gymnast can get if the routine is performed flawlessly. But as you can see from these numbers here, these errors must be deducted from the start value of the score to yield the final score. Okay, let's count out the deductions to get an E, or execution score. I have a total of minus 3.0 in deductions for this routine. If 10 represents a flawless routine, then applying this 3.0 number in deductions yields an E score of 7.0. I could easily do several videos explaining what constitutes an error or deduction in a routine, but for the purpose of this video, I'll simply state that I'm looking for steps and hops on the landings, form deductions in the air such as legs being apart and toes not pointed, incomplete twists, short holds and handstands, low flips, and others. I may do another video explaining these in more detail, but for now you simply need to know that judges can train for decades to distinguish a small step from a large one, small separation of the legs from a severe one, and low flip from one that is performed with the appropriate amplitude. The gymnastics final score is determined by adding the D difficulty and E execution scores. Here we'll calculate this as 12.6, but during competition, judges will enter these separate scores on a keypad and a computer calculates the final score. I may do another video explaining why judges might come up with different scores and why multiple judges are used to average out potential bias. So click the like button or provide your comments if you wish for me to explain this further. Take care, and I'll see you next time.